championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Hit to hit with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Chicago Bears.
Let's go. Let's do this.
On the ground with a rookie from Iowa State, David Montgomery. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Trubisky. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Let's go, defense. Let's lock in, lock in. Here we go. 51 to Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Again, it's Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. This one into the hands of Burton. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
Push him back.
first down. Montgomery. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Riley Ridley with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A look at Kerryon Johnson, 2nd-year man out of Auburn. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bears take over.
At their own 26-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner Darius Slay. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position. Where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down now, it's Johnson. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
Breaks the tackle, now Alley. The 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Prater for the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Going up top for Miller. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
The throw complete, Trubisky to Miller, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
On 1st down, Trubisky. It's complete. It's Miller. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
At the 23-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Trubisky to throw again. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Bears on the move. They've got another 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Hey, 25 to Mike. We're going 25 to Mike. So don't say
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And it's caught. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
The Bears on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
3rd and 2. Stafford. He finds his man Johnson. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Check 43. 22.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Bears' 47-yard line.
Set. Go 20.
Watch the run. They're running it.
Hurry up. Get set.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Let's go.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. Couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
23 yards on the play. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky.
The goal for any offense versus...
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Trubisky will throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
Let's go, baby.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. This is Bawden. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
Alert 3.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford with a catch made by Johnson. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
A loss of a yard. 180.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford caught by Jones. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Stafford to Jones. Enough for a Lion first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game.
Move. We got 4.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 13.
2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the gun, here's Stafford. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun is Trubisky. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Devon Kennard able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Lady! Omaha, ready to move!
Operating from the gun, Stafford. Jones has it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Marvin Jones. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 44-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
59! Switch!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
That's good for the Lions. First down. First and 10 at the 23.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Stafford. That's complete right around the 8. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. The bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it, a costly turnover. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, let's go. Watch the pass. Hey, ball.
Now it's Trubisky. That is caught by Cohen. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Trubisky to throw. And he's got Miller. And they work this out past the 25. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
It's a gain of 20.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. Trubisky now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Hey, Delta. Mike 40. Come to my work.
2nd and 5 now. Trubisky, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
18.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. It's complete to Robinson. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. 27-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
18.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
On 1st down, they go right back to Cohen. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run forward Tariq Cohen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Tariq Cohen in the final minute, and the Bears have retaken the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
45, Mike, 45. Check the out.
0.
Check Mike, 45. Check it out.
Now it's Stafford. Now a desperation throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
10. 45 to Mike. Hey, watch this.
Stafford now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Throwing now is Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
First down, Chicago.
Alert! You got nothing. Hey, box truck.
Trubisky to throw. He's got Burton here. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down the middle. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime,
they've got his man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
And the Bears first down.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
that would have been a great catch, but real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Trubisky to throw. This is caught by Robinson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
From the red zone down, here's Trubisky on 1st down. Robinson's got it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he is in for the score! And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Bears, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.